What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Sanchez405 coming at you. It is on the Warpath. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Click the bell so you get notifications anytime there's new content posted to the channel. And don't forget, we're on the Warpath to 1,000. Going to give away one Redskins jersey when we hit 1K. So make sure you keep your eyes and your ears open for that, because that's going to be a fun time when that happens, y'all. We're going to celebrate, right? And y'all, you know what this video is about. It is the Who Is series continuing, and we are on part 10. That's right. I don't know what to do with my hands, but we're on part 10 of the Who Is series, and we're on the defensive side, the defensive position coaches. I really have to do something with my hands, so I'll just continue talking with them. How about that one? And we are going to focus on the defensive line, the man in charge of the defensive line, who is Sam Mills III. Yes, that name sounds familiar. That's a football name because his daddy was a great linebacker in the league, played with the New Orleans Saints in the 90s, part of a great linebacking crew there, over 1,300 tackles in his career, is the author of the rally cry of the Panthers, the Keep Pounding, which is in their jersey. So his son had a lot to live up to, and I think he's lived up to it pretty well. He's been in Carolina from 2005 to 2019, survived 2 coaches, and now he's here in Washington. Started out under John Fox in 2005, who his dad worked with John Fox as a strength and conditioning coach, defensive assistant, and then after the 2005 season, he was moved over to work as a defensive quality control coach from 2006 to 10. He was there. He survived the axe or the non-renewal of the John Fox contract, and Ron Rivera made him an assistant defensive line coach with Eric Washington. And y'all, I got a number for you. Since 2012, the Carolina Panthers have led the league in sacks with 368 over that time period. Wow, that is insane. And I mean, you look at it, this defensive line responsible for a lot of it. 25 and a half sacks in 2012 out of the 31 was by the defensive line. In 2013, they led the league in sacks. A lot with the defensive line. Again, they were second in rushing. A stingy defensive line stopped them at the point of the attack. In 14, 32 and a half sacks out of the total 40 on the team. 33 and a half out of 44 were in 15 when they went to the Super Bowl in that 6th strength defense. In 16, 37 out of 47. Kawan Short, Star Lutui, they combined for 10 sacks, which was 5th in defensive tackle pairings in the NFL. 17, they had 50 sacks. Third, y'all seeing a trend here, right? 2018, he was promoted to defensive line coach because Brady Hulk was fired, and you know, he also has worked with 4 of the top 8 sack artists in Carolina Panther history. So there's a trend here. The man knows what he's doing. He's worked with some great defensive minds. In 19, he also got another title added to him. Ron Rivera gave him the title of game management coach, and it's all about situational football, clock management, challenges and replays, learning that aspect of the game. And you know, Gimme from Behind Enemy Lines at HCTR, our good friend, he was talking about Ron Rivera was grooming this cat to be a head coach, and with a position like this, it's like being an assistant head coach without the direct title, and a lot of responsibility there. So I assume that he'll probably be in that role again here, but you know, that remains to be seen. They haven't really announced anything like that. He's also the head coach of the 2019 East-West Shrine say that 3 times fast. East-West Shrine game. There we go, Sanchez. Where they lost 21-17. He was the head coach of the East, and they were down 21-0 and put together 17 unanswered points. So I mean, you know, the great resume so far for Sam Mills III, and he will be assisted by former 17-year veteran in the NFL, Jeff Zgonina. Played in over 200 games, has 26 tackles as a defensive tackle, as an interior lineman there, almost 450 tackles. Played for Pittsburgh, Carolina, Atlanta, won a Super Bowl with the Rams in '99, Indianapolis, Miami, Houston. So he's been with several teams. He's also has been a coach. He was a assistant defensive end and defensive line coach with J.J. Watt when he had 10.5 sacks for the Texans. In 16, he was part of the number 2 defense in the NFL with the New York Giants, and who gave up 17.8 points a game. Damian Harris had 2.5 sacks as an interior lineman, and 2.5 sacks, and had 86 tackles. And then he was Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, I know. It's like I'm cussing when I say Kyle Shanahan. But anyway, he was Kyle Shanahan's first defensive line coach with Zgonina. Worked with DeForest Buckner, who went from 3 sacks in his first year with him to 12 the following year. So has a good record, good pedigree there. And talking about pedigree, the man has worked with dogs in dog competitions. So I don't know if it's got his pedigree even in dog food, but who really cares? Anyway, thought that was a fun fact. But Sam Mills III, this is about him. Worked with some great defensive minds. In addition to Ron Rivera, John Fox. Don't forget, John Fox was a pretty good defensive mind in the NFL for a while. Eric Washington, like I said before, who is now the defensive line coach in Buffalo. Sean McDermott was a defensive coordinator in Carolina for several years, down in Buffalo as a head coach. Ron Meeks, who was a pretty good defensive coach, was a secondaries coach and defensive coordinator in the league. So in Sal Sunseri as well, he was a defensive line coach, and he worked with these guys. So I mean, this is exciting to see that this defensive line is rich and plentiful. He's going to have an opportunity to leave his mark with Chase Young. And he got to see, and Mills has worked with Julius Peppers in the twilight of his career, and really in the early portion of his career as well too. Both times around in Carolina, he's going to have an opportunity to work with Big John Allen, one of my favorites. What can he get out of Deron Payne? How can he help Matt Ioannidis get to the next level of his game? And Big Tim Settle, we can't forget about him. Montez Sweat, like I said before, he benefits the most from Chase Young. I think we could see high double-digit sacks from him in his sophomore season. And then Ryan Kerrigan, he is tasked with getting Ryan Kerrigan more comfortable with playing the defensive line spot, playing that defensive end more often. And, in third down and all this stuff, he would probably put his hand in the ground. But now that's what he's going to do exclusively. He's not going to have to drop back in coverage. And like I said, I think the biggest thing that I take away from Mills is the fact this game management coach. He's all about situational football. Y'all, I always talk about situational football. What you going to do on third down? What you going to do on fourth down? What's the third and long situation? So when are you going to take a timeout? So this is something else he can bring to that on a micro scale with this defensive line. What are you going to do? How are you going to scheme against your opponent? So I like this guy. He's got a great story. He's worked really hard to where he's gotten to, and then he's going to work with a guy who made a living, is a true professional in the NFL, and Jeff Zgonina. So these guys are going to tag team, and I think we're going to see that this defensive line, we already know, but we're going to see that they are not to be trifled with. But y'all tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you think about Sam Mills III. Tell me what you think about Jeff Zgonina. I'm excited to see these cats. Y'all know that I love you guys. Make sure you comment and let me know, because I love commenting. I love interacting with you all because I appreciate it. Because if it's not for you all and your support and your comments and your subscriptions, I don't do this, and I love doing it, and I love bringing this to you all. So I say it all the time. I love you guys, and what I say on the channel here, love, peace, and hell, and I'll be talking to y'all real soon. I'm Sanchez 405, y'all, and I am out.